My friends, welcome back to another episode of the Ask Sean Show. It's been, actually we're on track. We just did another one of these. We're like doing 2 in a row, kind of a deal, and hopefully we continue to do 2 in a row. We took a little bit of a break between this one and the last one and took a couple weeks off, but it's cool. We're back. Lots of questions, so thank you for your guys' questions. Appreciate the interaction, all the feedback that I get. I really, I'm gonna focus this show more on the self-help and the improvement. I've talked a lot about politics, I've talked a lot about business, I've talked about a lot of different things, and I want to really focus on the self-help aspect of, you know, what it is that I teach, what it is that I do, a book that I'm writing right now with that particular thought process behind it. So moving forward, we're gonna focus on that, and who knows, maybe we'll shift directions in a bit, but that's where we're gonna go. So thank you again for your questions and all of your comments, and if there's nothing else, then let's get into your questions in the show. Matt, good question. Do I believe that everybody should get a trophy? Do I believe in the participation awards? No, I do not. Here's why. It's not reality. It's not real life. See, I've got 3 kids, and my 3 kids all play sports. And when they're young, they're really young, they do t-ball and this, that, and the other, and it all ends in a tie. And I'll tell my kids, no, you guys got your butt whooped, or yeah, you totally slaughtered that team and killed that team. Here's why. It's reality. See, not everybody's equal. Like, you've got some dudes that are really smart that win spelling bees, and you got other kids that can barely spell their own freaking name. That's just what reality is. So saying that kid is as equal as this kid in their spelling and their understanding of grammar and things like that is just not true. One of my sons can't throw a football to save his life. My other son can throw a football like in a freaking tight spiral, and he's really good. But my other boy who can't throw a football is really good at riding dirt bikes. And I just flat out tell him, son, you're not that great at throwing a football. If you want to throw a football, let's throw it over and over and try and help you get better. But the reality is that you're just not that good at doing it. And that's truth and that's reality. Some people think that's just being an asshole, or some people think that's being a dick or whatever. It's reality. And I believe that giving every single kid a trophy is not sharing with them reality. That is, there are winners and there are losers. Look, from the dawn of creation, okay, there have been winners and there have been losers. Like, in order to eat, you must go kill. There must be a deer that must like be the slowest in the batch that the Indians had to catch to shoot to kill, right? That's just how it worked. It's how it's worked since like primitive days. It's the same thing in business, it's the same thing in sports, it's the same thing in life. So do I believe in like buttering everything up and giving people trophies for coming in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 7th place? Hell no. You need to know, hey, I came in 7th place. This is something that I want to be in 1st place in one day, so I'm gonna work my ass off and try and get there. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but at the end of the day, you know this is what it's gonna take to get to the front of the line if you want to be in the front of the line. If you want to be good, here's what it's gonna take. But saying that you're equally good as this person over here, it's bullshit and it's a lie. And I don't think we should be doing it. I don't teach my kids that way. If you're teaching your kids that everything is sunshine and roses and fluffy flowers and that they're all as good as the other kids on the team, you're lying to your kid and you're not teaching them reality. So teach your kids reality, teach your friends reality, share with your business, hey, you're not as good of a salesman as he is, which is why he makes more money than you. Would you like to become a good salesman? Cool, let's work on that. But for the time being, you're not as good as this guy, which is why he gets paid more than you do. That's reality. That's life. That's how it's going to work for ever and ever and ever and ever. So why not teach your kids? Why not share with society that if you want to be better, go become better. But for the time being, you're not in 1st place. So that's my 2 cents on it. So Tony, I don't believe that we ever make it. I don't believe that we ever get to a point of arrival where we say, I've got it all. I think that life, as you stated in your question, it's this constant evolution of things. So I share with my clients, and I believe that when you look at setting a benchmark and you look at setting a goal, when you hit that point, you have 2 options. One, say that I arrived and I made it and there is nothing more, or those of us who are constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly expanding, realize now that that's the new floor. So you realize that what was once a pinnacle is now the floor to what the next step is. So for me, like with learning, with education, with money, there is no point of arrival where you say, I finally figured this thing out and I'm there. Figuring something out is just opening the door to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. You just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper in who knows how long, infinitely. I mean, is that a word, infinitely? Yeah, okay, good. You just keep going until who knows what happens. But to me, I don't ever think that anyone will ever arrive at any particular place, especially with education or expansion or knowledge or love or anything like that. I mean, to look at it from a relation standpoint, to say, okay, well, we made it. We're here. We love each other and that's it. It'll never happen. You're constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly evolving. Same thing in business, same thing in your body, same thing with, I mean, you look at bodybuilders that are constantly like, I want to do this better or that better, or they could win a national competition and be like, this is the next step for me. So for me, I don't think that there's really a level of ever saying that I've arrived. I sure as hell haven't arrived. I've learned a lot. I've hit so many benchmarks and plateaus and continue to do that, but I don't think I'll ever arrive at this mystical, magical place of euphoria and ultimate wisdom and ultimate knowledge. So I think that we're constantly on a journey, constantly leveling up, constantly growing, and that's a really beautiful thing. Adam, I'm not sure if you expect, excuse me, or think that this would be like this really deep, profound answer when you're talking about how do I give up on this deal that I've been doing. I've been doing this public service deal for years and years and years. How do I stop and go somewhere else? One simple word. I mean, this is the word that you use in any aspect of life when you're wanting to go from A to B, from 1 to 2, and any progression forward. The word simply is to choose. I mean, you have to choose. You have to choose that this is not what I want anymore and this is what I want. The problem is that we fail to make those choices. We fail to make those decisions, and so we sit lethargic saying, well, you know what, it's not as bad, or we try and rationalize or justify why staying here is better or more profitable or going to be better for my happiness or my family, when the reality is it causes you stress, right? I mean, you're saying you want to go over here, but you're not doing it. Why? Because of fear? Because as soon as you make the choice to go do it, everything shifts, everything changes. As soon as you make the choice to move forward, the choice to quit the business, the choice to start the business, that's when everything starts to expand and grow and your mind starts to open up and things start to happen. It's not choosing that causes you the stress. It's not choosing that causes you the frustration and the anxiety from being in this place and not making a decision. It's scary, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've gone from business to business and done different things, and the scariest part is starting and going. But the most important part, the most crucial part of the journey is making that choice. So I share this a lot with my clients. I share this a lot with business clients, with relationship clients, with guys that want to level up. You have to first make that choice. I mean, it's the same thing with like an addict. I mean, somebody who's addicted to something, right? They have to make the choice that they don't want this anymore in order to open up a different door and create a different reality. But we fail to make those decisions, and so we sit in la-la land, lethargic, and that's what causes us stress. That's what causes us anxiety, is not making that decision. So for you to say, hey, I've been in this situation for however long, I don't want to be here anymore, what do? Choose. Make a choice. Say, this is where I'm going. Then you can map out how to get there. But not making that choice to go over here, not making that decision to create a change is what's going to keep you stuck in that spot. So step number 1, choose. Make the choice that you're going to do this, that you're going to create a change. Don't worry about the roadmap. Don't worry about anything else. That will come. Step number 1, choose.